Hello and welcome back to Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. For last time we played through the A Cup on 150cc, and today we'll be playing through the Triforce Cup on 150cc, and we're going to be using Roy. We unlocked new set of wheels this time. What did we unlock? We unlocked the Cyber Slick tires, so we're going to be using those, and we're going to be using them alongside the, have we used the City Tripper yet? I'm not sure, but either way we're going to use it anyway, because I think it looks pretty nice alongside the Cyber Slick tires. And we'll use the Plane Glider, here are the stats. And once again, we want to make sure that Smart Summon Auto Acceleration are indeed disabled. And so without further ado, let's dive into the Triforce Cup on 150cc. Let's do this. So, for today's episode, I'm going to be talking about something else that was, our topic that was recommended, yet another topic that was recommended by someone in the comment section. Because for those of you who may recall, in one of last week's episodes, I discussed the topic of difficulty in video games, specifically in the context of Dark Souls, and how some people really are appalled by the idea of a Dark Souls game receiving an option for, receiving difficulty options. And, you know, I went over how I find it utterly baffling that anybody would be appalled by the concept of having options for difficulty. Mind you, I'm not saying, not the concept of changing the base difficulty, because, obviously, like, I can understand the fear of wanting to, if in a situation where a game only has one difficulty, I can understand the fear of not wanting it to be lowered because you're used to having a more challenging experience, and that might be what you enjoy out of the game. But the simple, like, having options is never a bad thing, and it doesn't harm your experience whatsoever. So, you can go check out that episode if you want to go. I think it was episode 26, if you want to hear more about it. But today I'm going to address something, because someone else watched that video and brought up something I didn't address, which is the concept of locking content behind higher difficulties. And I had some ideas in my head of what games I could use to talk about this, but I also asked for some recommendations, or some examples from chat, not chat, this isn't Twitch, some examples in the comments of certain games that appeal to that principle, and I got some, so I can talk about those here. And before I go into any of the details of the specific examples, I'll just say that, generally speaking, I'm not appalled by the idea of of basically providing benefits or extra rewards to people who seek out the greater challenges. Because, I mean, if you want to boil it down to it, does it not track that if you want to challenge yourself with a more challenging experience, that there should be some kind of reward to compensate for that? Because I don't think that's an unreasonable expectation whatsoever. For instance, I guess the number one example that jumped to my head immediately was the Halo games. Every Halo game has a bonus ending you can get if you play the game on Legendary difficulty, which is the highest difficulty. It's nothing that makes the experience incomplete in the sense that you can play every single campaign on Heroic or below and still receive the full campaign experience, where you understand how the characters move from A to B to C to D, and you understand the progression of events and all the characters. You get your complete experience, and you get your ending, and you don't feel like there's anything missing. But if you play on Legendary, you do get a bonus ending. You see a bonus little clip of something or other. So I guess we can start there for this topic of conversation. So yeah, I don't think there's anything implicitly wrong with providing extra benefits for players who choose to seek out the greater difficulties and the greater challenges. I don't think there's anything wrong with that at whatsoever. Where I think where things get a little murky is where you were talking about some of the instances, because that's the first thing that I thought of when I read the comment was, are they referring to the Halo games? Because the Halo games do that in the sense that, like I said, they have bonus extra endings. Can I make this on 150cc now? No. Okay, so you have to be on 200cc to make that gap without a mushroom. Duly noted. We'll try to make that. Oh, okay. I could not adjust my trajectory in time to avoid that banana peel. That's annoying. Anyway. So yeah, that's the first thing I thought of, but then I actually read some of the examples that people were mentioning in the comments, and I was not even aware this was a thing. Apparently, there's much more egregious examples of developers that like, actually lock content. Not provide bonus content, but lock extra content behind the difficulty barriers. And some instances of something people brought up were a game called Twisted Metal 2. Okay, before I say that, let's see if we can finally make this. There we go, finally. We finally made that gap, albeit we needed a mushroom to do it. But once we get to 200cc, I can assure you we will not need a mushroom to get that job done. We will be able to make that jump just fine. And so apparently in Twisted Metal 2, if you play, I think it's past the, after you finish the first boss in the game, it tells you no losers can progress beyond this point, which basically means up your difficulty or you're not getting any further, which that's stupid. You should be able to, ow, that was pain. You should be able to complete the full game on whatever, well, okay. There is an exception to that in the sense that, Cuphead, for instance, if you don't know how Cuphead works, Cuphead is a game where there's the standard difficulty, and then there's, oh wait, no, is it default? I think, oh, the master, okay, that was not the direction I wanted to, okay, well, that did not go well at all. I did not throw that in the correct direction. I did not want to throw that bomb in the direction that it ended up going. The idea was to boost past everyone with the mushroom and then use the bomb to, okay, that was not the plan, but that's what ended up happening. Alright, that could have gone a lot better than it did. Well, there's another cup that I have to replay off camera, but it's whatever, I'll live. So yeah, the Cuphead is an example where I don't really even consider that game to have multiple difficulties. I'm pretty sure the way it's meant to work is you have default, which is the default difficulty, and then you have practice mode. It's not called practice mode, but it is called simple mode, which, I mean, the way I've always taken it is that you have the default mode where this is the base default difficulty that everything's balanced around in the game. And then you have a mode called simple mode, which is basically practice mode in the sense that it's the same boss, except that if you beat it, you don't actually get the soul contract for beating it. You just... Also, I think I can trick the... Yeah, this financial is going to hit him now, so... that was actually an intentional fall off the map. Absolutely. I completely 100% intended to do that so that I can skirt in front of you. I mean, I actually didn't skirt in front of you as easily as I would have liked to, but we still made it work. Take a green shell. Nice. That was a nice snipe. I had to get the perfect angle to shoot around the red shell there, and it worked pretty nicely. And now I'm hoping that you use your red shell against me so I can use the green shell to block it. Anyway, yeah, so that's how that works, is that there's the standard mode and then there's a practice mode. But, for instance, if we were to apply this to something like Halo, where you have easy, normal, heroic, and legendary, if there were ever a Halo game, which there obviously never would be, but if there was ever a game where you were playing on easy or normal, and then all of a sudden, after the first level, it'd be like, oh yeah, that was fun and all, but now you gotta bump up the difficulty in order to play the rest of the game. That would be abhorrent, and I would never ever defend that in a million years. A Star Wars third-person shooter game, apparently, ends, like if you play easy mode in that game, it doesn't actually tell you if the main character survived. Earthworm Jim, I've never heard of that game, but apparently during the credits it tells you to play medium to see the real ending. And they also mentioned Superman 64. No context, just the name. Okay, that was a weird place to draw me back to, but okay. Just the name Superman 64, I don't know what the context is, but it was listed. Apparently Mario Maker, which I've never... I was kind of surprised with this one, but I've also never done the 100 Mario Challenge, so I guess it makes sense that I would have never heard of this. Apparently in the 100 Mario Challenge, it ends if you play on easy mode. It ends with, okay, I'm going to take a risky shortcut here and hope that I can, well, not with that drift I can't, but we're back in first place anyway. Okay, so the intent was to take that shortcut, but the drift threw me off. I was not expecting it to drift that abruptly, but I was hoping for more of an inside drift, but I guess that didn't work out too well. Anyway, if you play easy mode on 100 Mario Challenge or Mario Maker, it ends by Bowser telling you took the princess to another castle, so that's a bit strange. Yeah, those are some of the examples that people were listing in the comments. So yeah, I guess to kind of wrap up this discussion, in summary, do I think there's anything wrong with locking content behind difficulties? Yes and no, depending on the context. If the context is literally you cannot play the rest of the game if you don't play on the hardest difficulty, or you don't get the true ending if you don't play on the hardest difficulty, that's one thing. But if it's something like you get a bonus Easter egg, or you get a bonus cutscene, or you get some extra bonus trophy, or some kind of extra miscellaneous content reward that is to reward you for playing on a higher difficulty, I don't think there's anything implicitly wrong with rewarding people who seek out those challenges. It's the where it gets a little iffy is when you enter the realm of literally preventing. Like if Mario Kart had difficult, well, I guess it does. Because in terms of the CCs, it'd be like if you could only play the Mushroom Cup and the Shell Cup on 50cc, or sorry, on 50cc, and then you have to play above that, and then with each CC you unlock more cups to be able to play or to be able to access. That would be unacceptable. And that kind of stuff where only certain parts of the game are available to play on high difficulties, which I didn't even know that was a thing. Like I said, I honestly did not know that was a thing that certain games did. The idea sounded so ludicrous to me that I was completely taken aback by the idea that there were even developers that implemented this in the slightest. But apparently there are, and some of them were recent. Like Mario Maker came out in 2015, so that one really took me by surprise. Although I guess there's a bit more wiggle room there, because I don't think Super Mario Maker's 100 Mario Challenge is actually like a proper Mario story. I think it's more just like, you know, it's the single-player story mode for people who don't want to actually utilize the create feature that Mario Maker is known for. So I don't think it's meant to be a proper Mario story. But I mean, even still, on a purely principled level, it's still a dumb way to incentivize a higher difficulty playthrough. And can I get lucky here? No, I can't. Okay, this is gonna cut it close, because Rosaline is right on my tail. Rosaline is like right there, I'm pretty sure. So I was hoping, because I took a gamble in an earlier lap where I hoped, I missed the one in the middle, but I was hoping that one of the other players would hit the one in the middle, so that I'd be able to hit the sword anyways, and they did. So I took a gamble, and it worked. I took a gamble in the third lap as well, but it didn't work out too well there. Anyway, so those are my thoughts on restricting certain things behind higher difficulty levels. But that's it for this, so now we will go view the results. And we did unlock a new car, which I didn't expect we would, because we bungled Rainbow Road. But I will amend that for the next episode, and I will go back and triple star rank it. So that'll be it for now. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned for next time. I hope to catch you all tomorrow for some more Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. Goodbye.